Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Lao Project with me, your host, and my co-host.
BJ, what's up?
What's up, guys? BJ, how's it been during Ramadan this season?
Oh, Ramadan this year has been testing. I went for the first time, I think since I've started drinking coffee, I went cold turkey, dude.
Oh, wow.
Like first Ramadan, I had my last coffee on the morning of the day before the first Ramadan. And I haven't had a single drop of caffeine since.
How do you feel?
Surprisingly not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be a struggle.
Okay.
Maybe the first few days were a bit of a struggle, but not anymore, dude. Like, I think, it has been the whole of Ramadan thus far that I've taken off coffee and it's been quite good. I don't have any of the so-called withdrawal symptoms that people talk about.
Do you go to a lot of bazaars or anything like that?
So far, no. Like, I mean, I'm over the bazaar scam, I think.
You know another scam in Ramadan that happens every time?
What?
Buffets.
Oh, dude. I've been to those though.
Yeah?
I went to a Japanese buffet on Monday night.
A Japanese buffet.
Yeah, like all you can eat Japanese.
Like an iftar buffet.
No. There's this restaurant. They have two branches.
Okay.
There's one at Oakland Road and there's one more on Jalan Sultan Ismail in KL. And it's called Mitasu.
Mikasu. Okay. Mitasu.
Yeah. So they basically it's a Japanese joint. Like they serve sushi and all that, but it's all you can eat. You just pay per head, and then you eat as much as you want.
How much did you pay for that?
It was alright. It was not hotel level. It was like $80 per head.
$80.
Yeah, and then like I think it was half price for kids under 18 or something like that.
Right. I think like any buffet over the price of 50 ringgit is a scam.
Well, I mean, in today's world, I think 50 is quite a low bar to set. I think anything above 100 is a scam.
Okay, what is the point of like Ramadan?
What is the point of Ramadan? Oh, we're getting deep.
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning, dude. We're getting deep.
Yeah. I mean, like the point of Ramadan.
Okay, what is the point of Ramadan to you?
To me, I mean, obviously it signifies a lot of things.
Okay.
But one of the things that I feel like Ramadan, I feel like for Ramadan, someone should at least feel or at least know the perspective of someone that is not as fortunate. You know, someone who's homeless, someone who can't afford to get food.
Right.
And then for many of us, maybe most of us, we're lucky so that we were able to buy our food, go to places and eat.
Most definitely.
But the point of Ramadan is for us to be, to check ourselves, basically, to keep ourselves humble.
Okay.
Like Ramadan, when it comes to iftar, you open your fast together with your family, your friends. It's a time of celebration, not a time for excessive, what do you call it? Indulgence. You know, that's exactly what Ramadan is not supposed to be. Yeah. So I think any Ramadan buffet over the price of 50 ringgit is a scam. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, for me, coming back to the real world, like $50 for a dinner buffet, I don't think you could get that anymore in KL.
You don't. You can get some buffets for 50 ringgit, but like
I think if you go to the UiTM hotel in Shah Alam, where it's run by students and all that, you can get you could probably get $50.
Yeah, most places
That's because it's like a student-run thing and all that, you know. So the value is given in other ways. But yeah, dude, $50. I mean, most hotels now, luxury hotels around KL,
at least 100.
No. It's like 200. You know, it's closer to 200. Like some are above 200.
Like why do they need to be that much?
Well, to be fair to these places, they do serve up a ridiculous variety of food. Yeah. You know, and some of these, especially the ones that get up to 200 plus, they do have like, you know, luxury foods like lobster, wagyu steak, things like that. So I can see that it's sort of worth it if you consider that that's the kind of food you're getting, you know.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you were to go and eat like a steak dinner, right? Like non-Ramadan times, it's gonna cost you like, especially if you are talking about Wagyu and things like that, it's gonna cost you $700-800. You know, which is it's a lot of money, but there are people that pay for it. There are people that enjoy the experience of, you know, eating fine foods. But I agree with you. Ramadan might not be the best time to indulge in such things, right? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but one thing I do enjoy about Ramadan, especially nowadays, is the trends.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you know, like how nowadays you get a lot of influencers, especially during Ramadans, they would post like a 30-day recipe, like, you know, like Khairul Aming and all these influencers, they would post like 1 or 2 recipes a day. That kind of thing I like, because it's them just enjoying the basic indulgence, I would say. The basic necessities. You know, the food, you share your food with all these people, your close friends and family. You cook it yourself. You know. So that is one thing that I enjoy. But out of all the influencers that I've seen on social media, there's this one influencer that I think like one of my favorites. She's called, hold on. Oh God, I lost it. Sorry. Mel, do you know Cik Ya? Okay, never. Sekejap. I'm sorry. Let me find it.
If you're watching, he watches this. Okay, I don't know. Oh, Cik Ya, Kak Ya, no.
No, she's the cutest. She's like this 60, 70-year-old auntie. And she just cooks in her kitchen with her traditional clothes, traditional accent.
Does she sell her food at the bazaar or what?
No, she just cooks at home.
Oh, so she's like a cooking influencer.
Yeah, okay. So her name is Kak Cik Ya. So you can find her on TikTok or Instagram.
That's
Kak
a bit
Cik Ya.
excessive, know that name.
No,
either Kak Ya or Cik Ya, you know.
No, I'm just like doing a quick search for her on the phone. Yeah, but check her out if you guys want to check simple recipes. If you enjoy traditional Malay,
you know what?
cuisines.
Why not? Blow her up though. Blow her up. Like, enough listening to Khairul Aming, man. He's a diplomat now. Like, look at the smaller guys.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of Ramadan,
yes,
you know how there are many things that we can or cannot do in public. You know, as a Muslim, you know,
in public or at all during Ramadan.
Okay, at all.
Okay.
You know, we cannot do a lot of things in Ramadan. You know?
Yeah.
So, but especially in public, as Muslims,
I don't think we should say we cannot, because that makes religion sound restrictive. So I think we should say we shouldn't do during Ramadan. Okay. Because at the end of the day, each individual is up to you.
You're right.
You know.
Right.
So I think
we're not encouraged to do certain things.
Shouldn't. Yeah, just say we shouldn't. Yeah.
Okay, we shouldn't do certain things in public. So
at all during Ramadan.
Okay, but there's this story that came out of Johor. Basically, there was this Malay uncle.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is about to get racial.
Yeah.
Even though we're not supposed to, but okay, just to clear it out. This Malay uncle slapped this a guy that was not fasting, probably a non-Malay dude, in public in Johor, just because he felt like it was disrespectful to him.
Yep.
What are your thoughts about it?
Well, a couple of things. Details first.
Yes.
The uncle was an older Malay Muslim man.
Yeah.
Whereas the person that he slapped, if I'm not mistaken, was at a family mart, right?
Yeah. It was at a public shop or something.
It was a family mart, and if you've been to family marts, like they have like high chairs and stools now, and tables, high tables and all that.
This is where you can eat.
Yeah. So, this uncle was I think, a patron of the family mart buying something, and he saw that this young man who happened to be non-Muslim Chinese young man was eating. And to make matters worse, with which I'm sure, I'm not saying he knew, and I don't think he knew, this uncle knew that this young Chinese man was also autistic.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, people go up in arms about this kind of thing. How autistic was he? We don't know. We don't know.
Are you talking about the guy that slapped him or the?
No, the Chinese man was autistic. Yeah, the young Chinese man was autistic. So, how autistic he is, we don't know. Is he Elon Musk or is he? I'm kidding. But my point is that I think a recurring theme that Han and I have always talked about when it comes to social stuff is that we be respectful of each other.
Yeah.
That we talk about that a lot on the show.
Yes.
And I feel like if you are asking for respect, like other people to respect your beliefs or what, like, number one, you don't want to be judged by your skin color, by your race per se, right? No one does. So how would he know? How would the young Chinese man know that this man was Malay? How would he know if he's not orang asli? Who are not all Muslim. So it's unfair in my eyes. I feel, in my opinion, it's unfair to assume on the part of the Malay man that this Chinese man knew what he was and who he was. So why you go slapping people out of nowhere? At the end of the day, it's assault. And what's worse is that this Malay man this uncle has not, is pleading trial, not guilty to doing this, which is a shame. Like, assault is assault. And it does not excuse you. Like, if you are so weak to the point where you cannot, your constitution is so weak that you are to the point where you can't deal with it when you are fasting, that other people are eating in front of you. I feel like you got to look within yourself. It's not about other people tempting you. It's not about the devil tempting you.
Ultimately, it's just you.
You are being weak. You're being weak. That's all it is.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know what prompted this uncle to just slap this guy in the middle of the day.
Yeah. Okay, it didn't seem like, at least from the videos that I've seen, it didn't seem like the Chinese man was taunting him.
He was just walking by, and this guy just came over and slapped him.
Yeah, it's like, I understand I would understand more. I still feel like it was unnecessary, but I would understand more if he saw like what he saw as a Malay dude sitting there eating in broad daylight during Ramadan, and you were to do that, like to teach him a lesson. I kind of get that though.
But it's still assault.
It's still assault. Yeah. Unnecessary. But it would be sort of more excusable and probably would not have gone viral. I think
it would have gone viral if it was a Malay dude that was getting slapped.
Maybe not. Maybe not. But
no.
What I'm trying to say is that it would be, at least for me, more forgivable.
Okay. This is what I think. If it was because what happened was, it was a Chinese guy and a Malay guy slapped him. Everyone is all up in arms like, you cannot do that. But if it was a Malay dude getting slapped by another Malay dude for not fasting in the Ramadan, I think people will be like, oh, yo, that's funny.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Viral because of that. But he wouldn't be having any backlash for it,
Yeah.
The uncle.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, it's a situation context kind of thing. But I feel like, uncle, if you're watching, please man up, face the consequences. You did something wrong, something you shouldn't have done. Pay the fine. Don't put the taxpayers' money to waste by going to court for something that you are guilty.
Actually, not just to the uncle, to everyone watching. Don't just
take accountability.
Yeah, don't just act on your impulses.
And if you do, deal with the consequences.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Okay, let's move on to some lighter news.
Yep.
I'm about to give the producers some work to do after this. So
The editors.
yeah. So okay. So basically, we talked about like
Sorry,
corruption before. We talked about corruption before on the show. So basically, some news came out recently about Ismail Sabri.
Yep.
So a few days ago, or I think it could have been last week, where Ismail Sabri, he was allegedly caught with some 170 million ringgit, just a tiny amount, in his house. And since then, he's been like sort of under the protection of MACC, and he's after the whole raid thing happened at his house, he immediately had like a I don't know if it was a stroke or a heart condition, but he was immediately sent to the hospital. And upon inspection, so they realized he had a heart embolism and was recently released back to stay at his house.
Right.
Yeah. So any thoughts on that?
It was the vaccine.
Huh?
It was the vaccine.
It was the vaccine.
The vaccine gave him the embolism. Dude. That's my take. But he's an elderly man.
Yeah. How convenient was it? Like they were
is he still vying for power? Like, is he still trying to?
I don't think so.
Like, become some prime minister or hold a high office? I don't think so. I don't
think so. He had the shortest tenure out of any prime minister we've ever had.
Oh, really?
It's only like 1 year, 1 month, or 1 year, few months.
That was shorter than Muhyiddin, was it?
Shorter than Muhyiddin. Muhyiddin was 1 year, 9 months or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know. Like, if he's not vying for political office anymore, like, just let it be. I mean, if he's not coming, let him be judged for his mistakes by the one entity that can judge him. Like, for now, he's an old man, dude.
Are you talking about the one entity that can judge him is God?
Yeah. Leave it up to God, dude. Like, he's an old man.
He is an old man, but you have to, like you said, take accountability.
Of course. I get that. But I mean, like how they went after Daim until he died, dude. Until he died. Like, come on. Dude was old though. Yeah, okay, fine. He did some. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't do some. Whatever,
So you're saying we should just let him be?
No, I'm not saying that he should get away with what he's done. But to this point, he was at least savvy enough to not get caught. So like there've been past leaders in our country and in others that have also been savvy enough to not get caught. Let them be.
But the thing is, he's caught.
He's not murdering people. He's not a head of a giant, drug cartel or a human trafficking cartel or whatever. These people, yeah, okay, fine. They took a huge sum of money, but they are at the end of their lives. Like, no, because I don't like it. I don't like it that these people, like, by these people I mean MACC, okay? They're not going after the people that are currently committing the crimes. Like how the Justice Department would do it in the US.
No, because like sometimes it's hard for them to catch someone while the act is currently being done. It's easier for them to find out, now it's they find out that someone did something. Then they can
10-15 years later.
Yeah, but it's hard for them to do it on the spot. Like, who are they?
No,
like,
I get that. But 10-15 years later, like maybe 5 years later, I can accept that. But 10-15 years later, come on, man.
But sometimes the information is not leaked out yet at that point. Sometimes you need more time for the investigation.
That's you cannot base off investigations off of leaks. You know what I mean?
I mean, like,
you have to, if you see a possible impropriety happening, as the authorities go in and investigate.
Okay.
But you can't wait for a leak comes out, then only. But you should have known if you are special branch.
Okay.
If you are the people that are in charge of investigating financial crimes, you should be actively keeping an eye on, why does this guy who is on a prime minister's salary suddenly worth 200 million ringgit?
Okay, I do agree with you on that.
And you shouldn't be waiting 10, 15 years to be bringing charges against people like that.
You're right, but this is Malaysia.
Or even in Daim's case, 30 years, 35 years. Like, come on, man. That is bad faith, if you ask me. That is bad faith.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing that. Like, at that point, you should be, okay, we've lost. We couldn't find anything on him, we've lost. Not like you dig up some that God knows or who knows is actually true or not, and or might have even be like, if you say people can doctor or forge documents on the criminal side, why can't people in the authorities who want to get someone so bad who they've been chasing for 30 years not forge documents to make it seem like they're guilty? You know, it works both ways.
Okay, I do agree with you on the fact that they should do it as quickly as as soon as they can. You know, but I think you're forgetting the fact that doing a 5 years worth of work in 30 years is the most Malaysian thing you've ever heard. No?
Yeah, but doesn't excuse it for me. Like, if it took you 30 years to figure out what I did, to take 200 million away from the rakyat or from this foundation or that one, whatever the case may be,
just let it be.
Let it be, dude. Retire. If you've been chasing that for 30 years, you retire. And dude, don't get me wrong, okay? I am not in any way or form being an apologist for these corrupt politicians, okay? But at some point, people have to wake up, open their eyes and realize politics is dirty. It's always going to be dirty. For as long as money is a part of politics, it's always going to be dirty. The people that get involved in it are just basically bathing in That's what they're doing. So you don't expect them not to get dirty when they bathe. Betul tak? Am I right?
You're right.
Yeah.
I do.
So,
okay.
Like, you expect not to be covered when he goes and, rubs around in the mud? Of course not.
So you're calling this politician?
No, I'm calling the den of politics, the arena of politics, style. It is. It's full of covered in mud and but the people who go through it, dust themselves off and come out smelling like roses, they are the ones that become successful. But yes, the is dirty. It's always going to be dirty. For as long as money and politics are involved together, it's always going to be dirty. And people should stop being so surprised that 200 million in cash is found in this man's house. Another 100 million in cash is found in this man's house. It's politics, dude. They're politicians. If it was found in Hassan Americans,
Hassan American?
Yeah, Hassan Americans, when he was Petronas president, right? Petronas. If he was found with 100 million, 200 million, then yes. Is that kind of money doing in you? You're not in your house. You're not a politician. You're not anything.
No, but why do
if
this?
If it's found in Cik Khalib's house, for example, like, these people are not politicians. They
No, but why do these politicians need all this money? Like 100 million ringgit is a lot of money.
Yeah,
like, just imagine the amount of cash that you need to stack. Okay, this is like 1 million ringgit, and then eventually you stack all this and say, 100 million ringgit.
Okay,
like that's crazy amount of money.
Okay, back to reality. Okay. That's not possible. You imagine?
No, they found like 170
but not
worth
in
of
ringgit.
cash.
Not
okay, but it's cash.
It's cash, but it had to be divvied up amongst different currencies. And
still,
I've explained before why that's the case. You can't get 100 million ringgit in cash. It's hard to get that much, because that's probably like what, 10, maybe even 7.5% of all the cash in circulation.
Okay.
So to have 177 million ringgit in cash, all in ringgit, that's impossible, dude.
Okay. I guess I do agree with you on the fact that when it comes to the MACC,
What I'm trying to say is that, okay, these politicians, as this might sound, they have a reason for having that much cash on hand all the time.
Okay.
They have a reason for it.
Okay, can you explain
as
the reasons
opposed
why?
to like a GLC CEO having that much cash in hand.
Okay.
That one seems like, okay, you're embezzling or something. But if you're a politician and you have that much cash on hand, most of the time is to pay off your ketua bahagian. Especially if you were someone in the position of Ismail Sabri.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like someone who was the prime minister. You know, like you are in charge of making sure all the wheels are greased.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's dirty, it's screwed up. I'm not denying any of that, but it is also reality.
Okay.
It's just what has to happen in politics.
Okay.
Not just here, but everywhere else.
I don't agree with that. I mean, like, not the fact that politicians, they should run a smoother or a better system of how to run the money instead of just having it at one place in a house.
No, I think that was over like 3 or 4 houses. Because he had stash houses, like cash houses as well.
Okay.
So it was, the 177 million was spread out amongst the 3 or 4 houses, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, but still, that's a crazy amount of money. Okay, we'll move on to another local news. Probably our last major news for today. Oil and gas. I mean, it's a energy company called Sapura Energy. They have recently gone under bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And they have recently been bailed out by the government with...
careful with that word. PM doesn't want to say bailout, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So what else can you say?
So basically what happened is that last week, PMX announced that the government was providing a 1.1 billion ringgit loan guarantee to Sapura.
Loan guarantee.
Yeah. So this loan apparently will not be disbursed. This is according to what the PMX said, okay? Will not be disbursed directly to Sapura, but instead will be distributed to the vendors that are being owed the money by Sapura.
Okay.
So basically the government is just going to go to all the vendors that Sapura owes and just give them whatever they want. So what they've calculated is that amongst all these vendors is about 1.1 billion. However, PMX does not want to call it a bailout because according to him, the semantic is that the money is not going to Sapura. Sapura is not going to touch this money at all.
It's just going to the...
direct to the vendors. Okay. That is his argument. And on top of that, this loan guarantee, this money is not a bailout because it is a loan that Sapura has to pay back. But Sapura only has to pay back, this is the terms of the loan by the government, using profits, not revenue.
Oh, so they're not even going to make money over the next, I don't know.
Who, Sapura?
Sapura.
I don't know if they are going to make money or not make money, but the government can only take back payment of the loan basically
through profits.
Through profits, not through actual revenue.
So if they're not making profits, then
they don't have to pay back the money until they do make a profit. Jeng jeng jeng.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, but how did it happen? How did they get here in the first place?
Mismanagement.
How? Like 1 billion ringgit?
It's not a lot of money, dude.
Okay.
1 billion ringgit is
in
about
energy, that's
it's probably what, 300 million
USD.
Around there, yeah. So maybe even not 300, maybe it's like 250 around there. So it's not a lot of money.
So the government decided to give a what do you call it? A loan
guarantee.
Loan guarantee.
Yeah.
Worth 1.1 billion ringgit to
correct.
Sapura.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is what it is, dude. Like, okay, now that the details have been laid out, I'll give my opinion.
Okay.
I think this is absolutely ridiculous. I think this is absolutely ridiculous because number one, Sapura is not a bank,
Yeah.
and Malaysia's economy does not depend on the success or failure of Sapura
Mhm.
in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why does the government?
So why is the government bailing them out? See, that's the thing. See, I knew there was a little conservative in there. But yes, so and they're technically bailing them out with our money, taxpayers' money, you know. So it's screwed up, yes. But I mean, what first question I have? Where are we getting this money from?
Yeah.
I thought we were broke. Like I thought we were dead broke.
Oh yeah.
Like we haven't gotten back the money from 1MDB just yet, you know. So I thought we were broke. So I don't know where this money is coming from. Number two, there seems to be a narrative that is saying that this is a necessary bailout simply because Sapura is Malaysia's second largest energy company.
Energy company behind Petronas.
After Petronas, correct. So, but you see, Petronas has been ridiculously successful.
Yeah.
You know?
They never got in that position.
No, and they've always had good leaders.
Yeah.
You know, at the top. They've also always been a GLC.
Okay.
Government-linked company.
Yeah.
They've always been.
Yeah.
They are our national petroleum explorers, right? So, yeah. And Petronas has never needed to be bailed out in this way, you know? So, I don't know, man. Like, you would think that being in the oil and gas sector, it's like kind of a no-brainer. Like, just run the company, manage the company, don't and the company's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Because it's oil and gas. But I guess that's not the case.
It doesn't work out like that all the time.
No, I guess not. And while the management that has already that ran Sapura into the ground, into bankruptcy, has already left.
Okay.
And new management has been installed.
Is this recently or?
I think they declared bankruptcy like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Or early last year, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they changed the...
Immediately.
Yeah. Okay.
Management was changed immediately. So I think now it's just that the government has just... Why it's becoming news again now is the government has just decided to take a stance on it. So they've decided that, you know, with this loan and everything, and they've just announced it. So that's why. Like I said, I'm all for a free market guy. You know, like I'm all for free markets. Like people have to deal with their consequences if they mismanage a $1 billion company like Sapura, because Sapura at its height was a $1 billion company. You know, they were successful, but to do it, like to run it into the ground in this way and to somehow be rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Right.
I wish I can like run a business to the ground and then have the Malaysian government like cover it again.
But this is what my favorite man says, Donald Trump. Yeah, he says.
What did he say?
He says that, well, I think he told this to Oprah. Like if you owe the bank $1 million, they're gonna come looking for you until you pay it back.
Yeah.
But if you pay the bank, if you owe the bank $1 billion, then they're gonna make sure you can pay it back somehow.
Yeah.
You know, so they're gonna make sure you become successful.
Okay.
So that they can get their money back.
Okay, so I just need to borrow lots of money from the government.
Maybe not. I don't know, man. Like, it's a screwed up situation. I feel like most Malaysians don't even know what that is going on right now.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying go protest on the streets or anything, but you shouldn't be okay with this. You know, like if this was CIMB or Maybank, I understand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like people's deposits, life savings in a lot of cases are in these institutions. But Sapura is not.
Yeah. I think Sapura has a lot to offer for Malaysia also. I mean, they don't just do oil and gas. They do a bunch of other things also.
Energy services. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But
so I think that's why the government feel like, okay, this company is an asset. So we need to help them out maybe like they can help boost the economy if they start running again.
Maybe, but track record has to count for something.
You're right.
You know,
You're right.
track record has to count.
Maybe the new management can do something about it.
Maybe. I'm not familiar with the new CEO. I'm not familiar with the new board either. But you know, they have to. At this point, if they care about the Malaysian people, they have to turn the ship around. They have to do something.
All right. So I think that covers like most of the local news that has happened over the last week. We've got one more news, but it's probably more of a segue for our next episode.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So it's a bit of an international news this time. With all that's happening around the world, you know, Trump, Ukraine, Gaza, Israel, we have to talk about sometimes the things that happen behind the scenes. Okay. So we've seen like the Oval meetings, Oval Office meetings with Trump, Starmer, Macron, and Zelensky. But we haven't seen Trump and Putin together. But we know that they have probably made a deal somewhere.
Yeah, I think
along the way.
They met yesterday or
they met yesterday
or over the weekend in Riyadh, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Saudi is becoming the new Switzerland, dude. Yeah. They might help avoid World War III. No joke. Saudi is a G now because of the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. So
did Trump and Putin went to do Umrah or what?
I don't think it was like that. They somehow we'll get into it more in the second episode. Trump and Putin basically started Trump, Putin and Zelensky have as of actually an hour ago agreed to a very limited ceasefire.
Between Ukraine and Russia. What do you mean very limited?
So they're going to, one of the things they're going to do is they're going to shrink the battlefield, the arena battle.
Okay.
So it's going to be secluded or cordoned off to only one area of battle. Details haven't come out yet because it's only been the news literally was just announced an hour ago.
Okay.
And then also there will be certain military installations or certain bases or energy plants that will be banned from being attacked.
Okay.
Like both sides can't attack.
Right.
The certain like designated places.
But you're talking about that's a ceasefire.
A limited ceasefire.
Okay.
This is not complete ceasefire where the killing stops completely. Like they're still gonna be fighting. It's just going to be in designated areas, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay. So that more civilians are not like involved in
because it's been like the Ukrainian death toll is anywhere, depending on who you listen to, is anywhere between 700 to 1 million people, Ukrainians dead. Yeah. So there's a lot of people, dude.
700,000 to 1 million Ukrainians
depending
dead.
on who you listen to. Yeah.
That's crazy.
To put it into perspective, I'm sure a lot of you don't know this, but the US in World War I and World War II collectively lost 1 million people.
Lost 1 million people. Only 1 million people in World War I and World War II.
Collectively, yeah. So Ukraine in the last 3 years
has suffered more than the US.
It might even be more than 1 million by now, but a lot of reputable sources say it's somewhere between 700,000 to 1 million.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It is.
Okay.
Yeah, and Russia has like 150 million people. So every million that dies, and they, to their credit, they repopulate very well as well.
Russians or Ukrainians?
Russians.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ukrainians are not repopulating because the people that have stayed in Ukraine are mostly just
people that want to retire.
18 to 30 year olds.
Okay.
Men the women have been shipped out.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, you'd be surprised to find this out, but a lot of the Ukrainian women are in Russia.
Wow.
Yeah, sugar daddies. Yeah.
So you're saying Ukrainians, I get both ways? Oh no, man, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
They are though. And I don't think it's just two ways. More ways than one.
Yeah. You know, speaking of breaking ceasefires, you know, another place which is also quite, I would say, relevant. Gaza and Israel. Israel have also recently broken a ceasefire.
I think that one is the ceasefire ended.
Yeah. So just over the last 24 hours, by the time of this recording, more than 400 people have been killed by airstrikes.
Another 400 more injured, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy world we're living in, but hey, Ismail Sabri's got 170 million.
He's got to let that go.
Okay. No, I just don't have that money. That's why I'm like.
Yeah, nobody does.
I wish I have that kind of money.
Dude, you want to know something? He doesn't have that money.
Not anymore.
No, not in that way. Yeah, okay, fine. He doesn't actually have the money anymore either. But that wasn't for him to go buy handbags, dude. Or buy cars or buy houses with.
Okay.
That money was supposed to go, like, if you think about it, okay, you break it down. Malaysia has how many states?
14
states, right? Okay.
9 sultans.
You divide 177 million over 14 states. How much on average does one state get? Slightly over 10.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not much. Yeah, slightly over 10. Maybe around 11. Around there, right? It's not a lot of money.
That's not much for
when you consider that there is election spending, it's not.
No, but he was only like prime minister for like a year.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you've been in like prime minister's seat for like 5 years or more than that, I can understand. Okay, you have.
Yeah, that's how you have the 2.1 billion ringgit in your M-Bank account, because you've been prime minister for more than 5 years.
That is like a different thing. That's like a wealth sovereign fund. That a different kind of.
So he says, we don't know.
But you're right. You know, it's style.
Yeah.
It is style.
Yeah.
Okay lah. I think that's all.
You go. I think you should lie down.
Yeah.
I think you need to lie down.
Yeah, it's Ramadan, so I need to. I need to cleanse myself.
Yeah. Maybe you need to samak.
Oh yeah.
We talking a lot. Today.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. On that note, if you've watched the episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have anything that you think we should talk about, put it in the comments. And if you think
there were episodes that went missing, they might have. You never know.
Everything's corrupt.
Or the aliens could have gotten the episode. Though. The aliens?
Oh, the aliens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next episode.
Okay.
Ciao.
Okay. All right. See you in the next episode.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Bye.
Let's go.